Hi everybody, it's Jane, and today we're going to talk about all the way from chapter 16 to 30 is Maniac Magee by Jerry Spinelli. This is the winner of a Newbery Medal winner. So yeah, it's a really amazing book. And so I hope that you really enjoy. Okay, let's dive right in. Here's the problem. I'm on the wrong page. Wait just a sec. And you'd be like, well, just a sec. Like, really, 1 second. Done. See? In 1 second, I'm done. Okay, chapter 16. Okay, so it says that Maniac Magee was blind. Sort of. So I'm not gonna explain that because we have already gone through it, but have you ever felt like so blind at something and then when you can actually see it, you just feel so dumb or like you're like, what? Then you begin to actually see it, or are you never blind? Well, I'm really sensitive to a lot of things and I'm never blind at those kinds of things. Yeah, and of course I know a lot of, I try not to be blind a lot, so mostly I see the reality as it is. And how do you think that Maniac Magee could suddenly see all that color in a way? How do you think that he's going to see that? I think he's going to see it because of somebody mean. Somebody mean who tells them to go away. Now, so do you think that kids... Have you ever seen or experienced or heard about or read anything about a kid being like disgraced because he was strange or his color was because he was another race? Oh yeah, definitely. I read so many books about that. I'm pretty sure that I read so many books they would cover this tabletop. Yeah, I read a lot of books like that. It was sad, but I did really learn a lot about those kinds of things, which ensures that we'll never do those things again, at least hopefully. Okay, chapter 17. Have you ever seen, at least felt a hot day? And if so, yeah, what hot day? San Diego hosts a lot of hot days. Yeah, they can be anytime. Today's not a hot day, but yesterday was a hot day. The day before yesterday was a hot day. Yeah, it was really hot. Almost all the time it's hot. And do you think that the fire hydrant thing was supposed to be happening or not? I don't think that it was supposed to be happening, Yeah, I don't think that was supposed to be happening. But so, somebody let the water out and now they're having a lot of fun, right? And do you think that, how do you think, if you have a maniac, how would you have felt about this? And do you think that you would have been happy, or do you think that you would have been just nervous? Because, if you were a maniac and you weren't blind, or maybe you were blind, you can be blind or you can't be blind, you can choose that, okay? Yeah, would you be happy or would you be nervous that somebody would suddenly shout? I would be a little nervous, but mostly I would just be really happy because it does seem really fun. And then this man who that was talking, who seemed to be talking through a can of worms, it called him Whitey. And then he began to say, go back to your own kind, right? And so, now, do you really think that there is like a specific type of person, or do you think that there isn't any specific type of person? What do you think? And do you really think that black is black and white is white, as that man was saying? I totally disagree with that. Yeah, I don't think so. And then, if you have a maniac, do you think that you would have been able to sleep or not? I wouldn't have been able to sleep at all. Yeah, I just don't think that I would have been able to sleep. And what are you the greatest at? Because it says that Maniac was one of the world's great sleepers. What are you great at? And now, why do you think that Hester, Lester, and Amanda were all acting so strangely? And when we sort of began to figure out something's going on, what did you think happened? I just thought there was going to be some racial discrimination, some, like something about, something that would hurt Maniac. And I was right. There was some, wait, let me see if it was chalk or not. Wait, let's see. Yeah, well, it isn't paint, right? And it says fish belly, go home. Well, it used to say that. Now it says ish belly, go home. But only the F haven't scrubbed off. And even if we just read ish belly, we'll know that there would have been an F right there. So fish belly, go home. And how do you think that affected Maniac? So chapter 18. Now, if you had been Maniac, what would you have done? How would you have reacted to that, and how would you have felt? Me, and you can also use a simile if you want. Me, I felt as if I was a bird and a stone had knocked one of my wings loose. You can feel how that would feel. You can imagine how that would feel, right? Pretty terrible. And that's probably how Maniac felt. Like he's suddenly off course here, and he doesn't like it. And do you really think that a Maniac should listen to Mars Bar here or not? He shouldn't. Mars Bar is just a sticky molding Mars Bar, that kind of person, and you shouldn't listen to it. Like you shouldn't eat a sticky molding Mars Bar. You shouldn't listen to a sticky molding Mars Bar either. Now, do you think that Maniac is actually better off on his own or not? I think that he should have a home. Yeah, I don't think that he's better off without anybody. Yeah. In the end, yeah, I really think that he needs a home or not. And if he doesn't, he's going to be in serious trouble. And I have a question too. Do you think that the thing about the address, right? Why do you think that a home is so important to Maniac? We've talked about this a lot. And what do you think a home means to Maniac? And if you want, also check out Pictures of Hollis Woods, which I am in the process of making. And soon you can check that book club out. And in that, you can also think, what does a home mean? Is it only a physical place, or can it also be symbolic? And this also comes in Maniac Magee too. So those two books are great if you want to read them as a pair. And of course, I have book clubs about both of them. That would be great. And now we begin to talk about Cobble's knot. What did you think was going to happen? Okay, chapter 19. Now, do you think that Cobble's knot is like such a big thing to really think about? Or do you think it's nothing but just a knot? And it's just a knot, and it shouldn't be the wonders of the world. Well, I think that it should be a wonder of the world, because how in the world did that kind of knot come up? Like, I think it's pretty amazing, and I think that, yeah, it is a pretty impressive sight, and still, I don't think it should have been in the wonders of the world, even if it was a pretty impressive sight. And now, do you think that Mr. Cobble is now going to have no business? Because we're sort of predicting that when Maniac comes, that Cobble's knot is going to get untied really quickly. Do you think that the business is probably going to deflate or not? No. Number one, when Maniac's there, and it's just going to boom with business. It's going to be the place that Maniac Magee was, the Cobble's knot, and like everybody will be crowding around saying, look, there it is, and people will be, and I think that the business, it will skyrocket, and Mr. Cobble selling pizza is going to really be happy. At least it won't be like Cobble's Corner grocery. It'll be booming more than that. Now, do you think that Maniac can actually solve it though? Because there's a big chance that actually he might not be able to solve it. But do you think that he's gonna solve it? I think so. Chapter 20. So they hung the knot out again, and what did you think about the fact that Maniac was taking such a long time? And did you think that he actually had chickened out, or did you think that he was just taking his time? That was all. I thought that he was just taking his time, and I thought that they would actually do something in the end. What did you think about that tricycle gang too of 4 and 5-year-olds? Hex Angels. Now you might be like, Hex Angels? What's that? Well, there's a really bad motorcycle gang called the Hells Angels. Actually, if you want, you can check out Dead on the Norvelt to get more on about that, because that's a book club I made, and that is about, and there's some Hells Angels in it. Though I think that I'm working on that right now, but I'm almost finished now with the whole book. So when it's finished, you can check that one out too, so that'll be fun. So yeah, I'm working on a lot of book clubs right now. Actually, I think I finished Tallest Woods, but anyway, yeah, I think that you're really gonna enjoy those books connected to Maniac Magee. I'll give you some book recommendations as we keep on going. And now it kept on growing and growing and growing until it was like a fuzzy hairball. And then finally, it was nothing but string, and Cobble's knot was gone. What did you think? And did you really believe that Maniac was going to do it? And when you actually saw that, how do you think that Maniac felt? If you have a Maniac, how would you have felt? Okay, what about, I felt as if I had just repaired my wing and I was back on course. That would have been what I would have felt like. And then now, the celebration is enormous, right? I really like the first sentence. Bugles, cap guns, sirens, firecrackers, war whoops. Cobble's Corner was a madhouse. Everybody was like, wow. And do you think that you would have also been like that? Yeah, definitely. That knot that was hanging by when I was a kid and still there for like a really long time, that was actually solved. So I think that I would have been also equally impressed as all the other people who have seen that. And what did you think about the fact that the Encyclopedia A itself had been ripped apart by the twins to make only just confetti? What do you think? Well, the book doesn't deserve to be confetti, because book is a book and it has like such a good story in it. You should read that. You should read that story. So I don't think that any book deserves to be broken apart. And besides, I actually did want to, if I had an Encyclopedia, I would want to learn everything that started with A. Even though I'm pretty sure they can't go to everything in the world. If they do, wow. I mean, like, I guess so, but still, you can't think of everything in the world. Like, maybe they probably put an anteater, but like, did they ever think about okay, now I'm actually running out of steam. Amtrak, or okay, maybe they thought of that. Ammunition, probably. Well, point is, still, it would be pretty hard to get every letter and everything in, in the encyclopedia. If they actually got everything, yeah, maybe they did, it would be this thick. Maybe they aren't that thick. I've never actually looked at it, but I think they're about this thick. So, I don't know. And do you think that you did you like the fact that Maniac Magee walked right out of town? And do you really think it's Maniac's fault or not? Yeah, I don't think it's Maniac's fault. It isn't. It's just other people's fault, and that encyclopedia was Hester and Lester's fault. It wasn't Maniac's fault. So I don't think that I think that Maniac's just actually gonna bring some more stress because now he's gone. You know what I mean? Think about how Amanda would feel when he was gone. What do you think? How do you think that she's gonna feel? And do you think that he's gonna come back to them, or do you think he's never gonna come back again? And what do you actually suspect in this moment? Actually, I was. I thought the Maniac Magee was gonna just run away again, because that's happened to a lot of times in books like these. So I thought that he was gonna run away again, and though it was a sad prediction, now it seems like it's true. Now, chapter 22. Now, what do you think that the baby buffalo was seeing when about this funny creature? What creature, and who do you think that this was? I think that this was Maniac Magee himself. And so my question is, do you think that Grayson is going to be Maniac's next friend and guardian? But do you think that Maniac's also going to leave Grayson? Because, he's already left Amanda's family. And, like at times in books, like the character keeps on going somewhere and then another and another and another and another. But they keep on leaving the house, and in the end, they just come back to the original house. I read about 5 books like that, really. So, yeah, I think that this might be the case. Then again, I might be totally wrong. Maybe Grayson is going to be the complete guardian. But then again, what about all this part? What do you think that this is all about? We haven't even gone about all the way through. So, what do you think that the rest of it about it is? Going back to Amanda, to his house. Let's see. Now, do you think that the old man seems nice, or do you think that he's only faking being nice, or do you think he's not nice at all anyway? And did you think that the kid or Maniac do you think that he's going to settle right in with everybody, with Grayson, or do you think that it's gonna take time? I think that Grayson and him, they're just gonna go along like old buddies, like 2 puzzle pieces in a jigsaw puzzle that complete the final piece. Maybe not the final piece, though, of the story. Who knows? But at least some important pieces. Now, what's your favorite treat? And is it butterscotch crimpets? Honest, I've never even seen a butterscotch crimpet. My favorite is Cheetos. They're really good. Yeah, they're awesome. So my favorites right now, Cheetos. And did you think that Grayson? Why do you think that he was, in as a park hand? And really, what I mean is, what do you think that his past was? Because at times people hide a lot of things about his past, and really Grayson does say what kind of person he was in the end. So did you think that Grayson also had a good past, or do you think he just had a bad past all the way until Maniac came and now he was going to be happy? Or do you think that's not going to happen either? Chapter 24. Were you surprised that Maniac actually had enough stomach left for that? I don't think so. I mean, a whole bag of Cheetos leaves me full. Now 30 butterscotch crimpets will leave me moaning. And 30 butterscotch crimpets plus big dinner would leave me dead. Well, not dead, but I'll be like, my stomach, ow, and I couldn't eat another bite. But Maniac is like, like sort of like Garfield. You know how like there's the two-handed movement, the two-handed eat it up quickly movement, like that. In a way, if you could think about it. And what did you think about the fact that Grayson asked if the African American people they ate potatoes? Potatoes. I mean, like mashed potatoes. Did you think that, like, of course, right? And then he began to ask a lot of other questions. So, what do you think that sort of shows about Grayson? I think it shows that he hasn't been around a lot of African Americans and he isn't used to them, and probably he was around lots of discrimination for black people when he was young, that is right. And do you think that Grayson ever got to be a great baseball player? But it doesn't seem to, right? It doesn't seem so. And really, my question is, do you think that if your dream is lost, do you think that means that it's always lost, or do you think it might come back as something else? I think it can always come back as something else. Okay, chapter 25. And then we realized that Grayson actually went to the minors. Now here's the thing. I don't know a thing about baseball. I barely know what the majors is, and I don't know what the minors are. So I have no idea. But I can sort of see that the minors were a big deal. The majors were even a bigger deal. So I think I get what I'm saying. Like what they're saying, not what I'm saying. Sorry, what they're saying. But still, a little confused here. What did you think about that person? Did you actually trust that person? I actually did. I actually trusted the person. But then I realized that it was just a joke. Now, do you think that person should have done it? But do you still think that Grayson is a good person to have around at those times when it just is so boring? And would you like to also be with Grayson and hear all those stories? Or do you just like, sitting somewhere and reading? I think that I would have liked it better if I was actually listening to it. Really has that effect. But still, I really like the fact that they put it in words at least. Okay, chapter 26. Now, do you think that Maniac after this really is going to become a pro at that? And whenever you learn something, and whenever you become a pro at something, because I'm pretty sure that we all are pros at something. I don't know, maybe we're all pros at reading, taking care of cats, doing jumping jacks, doing karate, bungee jumping. Now, chapter 27. Now, what did you think also about the fact that Grayson couldn't read? Do you think that would be okay? And what's another thing that you can learn about the past? A lot of people were illiterate back then, right? And I was really surprised that Grayson couldn't read. And do you think that you can last life without reading? I certainly couldn't, because it would be boring, and I would be like, it's so boring, I would die of boredom if there wasn't a book to read. And besides, like, you can barely find your way. And like, if they say, go to Fifth Avenue, you're like, Fifth Avenue, okay. Well, the thing is, I can't read, so, scratch. You're like really confused here. So I don't think that it will work. Besides, if you want to go somewhere, then you have to use a GPS. How do you use a GPS without reading? So yeah, I really do think that it would be really hard and exasperating if you couldn't read. And now, do you really think that the reading, right? Do you think that the reading is actually going to get better? And soon enough, do you think that Grayson is gonna read like really thick books like Maniac Magee? I think so. And what's one way that you would use to describe Maniac? I would use thoughtful and serious, and yeah, I think that would be what I would use, and also caring and loving. What do you think? And how do you think that the fact that having a address affected Maniac? How do you think that he felt? And if you're a Maniac, how would you have reacted? 101 Ban Shell Boulevard. What do you think about that? Do you think it's a good address? Definitely. And then chapter 30. Now, do you think that Christmas, when you're Christmas, do you think it's paradise? Definitely. Presents, good food, and happiness like rings through everything. And I think that yeah, Christmas is one of the days I love. And really, Maniac's Christmas was pretty different from mine, but how do you think that all those small things made a big thing? Because like all those small things are good things. A lot of small things equal one good thing. And do you think that you've ever had a happier Christmas than Maniac? Think about it, really. And don't think about it in how good it was. Well, maybe, yeah, but like more how happy you were. Think about it like that. Not how good it was, but how happy you were. Not the presents, but how happy you were. Today, we finished chapters 16 to 30. I hope that you enjoyed today's chapters in Maniac Magee by Jerry Spinelli. And yeah, I hope that we meet each other next time for the next chapters. I'm going to ask you a few last questions. What was your favorite part in these chapters? And what was your favorite part in the whole book so far? In these chapters, my favorite part was, was that Christmas with Grayson. I thought that was so happy. And then in the whole book, when Maniac first met Amanda, I thought that was just a great time too. You know, the start of something amazing and brand new. And also when Cobblesnot was fixed, that was also another part. Okay. What was your favorite character and your least favorite character? My favorite character has to be Maniac, but at the same time it's, I've been thinking, Maniac alone. My least favorite character, that man who seems to, talk through a can of worms. I also don't like a lot of the mean kids like Mars Bar. I don't really like him either. So, yeah, like Fish Belly Go Home. Seriously, I hated that one. So, yeah, Mars Bar also counts. And then also the aunt and uncle, though they don't come out a lot and I think that they're very important, I still hate them too. Okay, now for my favorite question. How did you like the book so far? You know why? You get to review, you can think, and then hopefully you say it's good, because when it's good, it makes me happy, and yeah, and it makes you happy too, because now you like another awesome book. In this case, Maniac Magee. If you don't like it though, check out all the other books. I know that you're gonna find one that matches you perfectly, and after that you can go after that author or genre, and you're probably gonna find a lot more about like those, and then you'll actually be really happy. Of course, I chose this book because I really loved it, and yeah, and I hope that you also loved it. Now for predictions. This time, I want you to make your own predictions. Next time, of course, I'll begin to say my predictions, and at times, though, I will exercise just making your own predictions a lot. But at other times I won't do that. It's just that, exercising this skill is gonna make it much better. And then after that, and then I can still ask your predictions though. Here's a few predictions still I wanna ask you, about 5. Do you think that Maniac is going to be okay with Grayson? Do you think he's gonna leave Grayson? Do you think that Maniac this is gonna be his permanent home? Do you think that he's gonna go back to Amanda's house? Last question. Do you think that he's ever gonna find an address where he can stay in? Or do you think he's gonna stay in Bandshell Boulevard? 101 Bandshell Boulevard. What do you think? We're gonna have to see about it next time. I hope that you had a great time with me. And yeah, have a great rest of your day or night. Bye!